This has been a long time coming. I've known the speaker today for 12 years when she was still in Afghanistan. This young lady, when she started, and this was which is now the International Kindness Sharing. Sounds as a contradiction coming out of Afghanistan at that time. And also she had the Afghan Women's Writing Project. These two things really are focused on women and girl students. And this is something that the Taliban absolutely did not want to happen. And so I wanted to have a picture up here over her shoulder to show you what she had to go through, because she was constantly hunted for the work that she was doing. And they eventually had to take her out of the country and took her into Pakistan and eventually into the United States for the work she was trying to do, just to educate people and to give them a better life. And this is something that that regime definitely does not want to do. So she was born and raised in a very dangerous place. But she became, in spite of all this, a writer, a teacher, a poet, a leader, visionary, a daughter, friend, communicator, all the way from the darkness of these constant wars that were going on, and a regime that wanted to make sure that women did not have any voice in the society. And so with these two organizations, the International Kindness Sharing, which is a nonprofit, and the Afghan Women's Writing Project, she became a friend, a leader, in essence, a missionary to thousands of women and girl child, as they call them, all across Afghanistan in every province. She's out, Taliban is in, and guess what? She's still operating in Kabul and 3 other provinces, and they're looking to expand their operation even today, but from the safety of being in Washington, D.C. So Alaha, we really appreciate you being here. It took 12 years to get you here, and thank you for sharing and bringing up your information about what you were doing and why it's so important.
Thank you so much. So as Dr. Sam said, my name is Alaha. My last name is Ahrar. I always tell people, if you don't want to forget my name, so in Hawaiian it's Aloha, so change the O to A, then that's Alaha. So the work that I've been doing, Kindness Sharing Project, it's an organization that was founded by my parents and my siblings. My mom and dad decided to have this organization because I believed in kindness. And one day in a winter, cold day, I saw a child bare feet, and she was begging for food and for money. And we were in the car, I saw this child, and that scene stuck in my mind, and it made me almost sick. I keep asking my parents question that how could the child be bare feet in such a cold winter? So my dad decided to help the child, and also from then we decided to have this kindness foundation that started from my own home, and we decided to help children in need. And then later on, when I came to the United States on talent scholarship, then I started to have a kindness table at the University of Mary Washington, because there were so many students that they were well off, but then we had students that they didn't have the opportunity to put on the brand new clothes. So I decided to have a table so that people could bring their shirts, dress, or whatever they couldn't put it on. They did not want to put on, so at the table, and they could get whatever they wanted to. So that was a beautiful opportunity for these students to share, to learn how to share and then try each other's clothes. And then my friends and classmates loved it so much that they decided to help me with my kindness sharing project. And I was able to expand it, and and finally in 2018, I was registered as a nonprofit organization. And now we started as Kindness Sharing Project. It was a project, but now it is an international kindness sharing 501c3. Let me show you what I've been doing. So the first pictures, as you saw, the situation of Afghanistan. So we have been dealing with almost half a century of wars. The wars of Afghanistan is never ending. And then that caused so many people lost their loved ones, parents losing their sons, daughters, children losing their parents, and husbands losing their wives, wives losing their husbands. So many losses, immigrations, unwanted displacements, so much disaster that my people have been experiencing due to the half a century of war. And it's not one war, it has been wars that we Afghans have been experiencing. So luckily, after the fall of the Taliban, the first time, so for 20 years, people had the opportunity to experience democracy and freedom. Then those youth who grew up in a free country, they didn't experience how the Taliban were, so how the situation was. So this generation that now they are experiencing this situation, they are the ones that they suffer the most. And Kindness Sharing Project has always been there to support children and women, and also men, because I do not want to discriminate against any human. Whoever needs help, they can come to our door, and we are there to support them. But the most vulnerable are the children. So, as I said, nonprofit kindness sharing, international kindness sharing is a 501c3. We are there to spread kindness. So our goal is to spread kindness worldwide. So the most important thing in our today's world is kindness. This is something that we all have, but we need to learn to share it with everyone. So we are anti-poverty, anti-human trafficking, anti-human smuggling, and anti-violence. And we advocate for justice, fairness, equity, and equality. So the most important thing that I am going to talk to you, because we do a lot at Kindness Sharing Project, the most important thing that I want to tell you today is the culture of war and violence. So as you know that when a country deals with wars, then you see that children are the ones that they suffer the most. So parents lost their sons, that they were the breadwinner of the families. Wives lost their husbands. Children lost their fathers. So those were the breadwinners of their families. As a result, these children had to work to support their families. Then what happened? So the tragedy started here. So I didn't know about that until I started my graduate school at the University of George Mason, that I learned that people in power, they are abusing children. And they go to their moms and their families, they ask them that, allow me to help you. So I will provide your son with a very reputable job and you will get paid for that. He doesn't have to work on the streets. He doesn't have to beg, or he doesn't have to sell something on the street. So I will provide him a very good job. So the mom, she wanted to hear that. So she thought that it's a golden opportunity. So her son doesn't have to experience this cold and warmth on the streets. So she decided to agree with that. Then as a result, what happened? So these children were sexually abused by those powerful people, and they were threatening these kids to not tell anyone. So that was the time that I decided that I want to fight this powerful man in our society. I need to change this culture. If a man is walking with a little boy and he calls him his whatever name that is, I cannot even say the name. So if he calls him that name, and then we should know that this is not acceptable. So we need to change this culture. So what I did with a group of volunteers, so we all are volunteers, none of us are paid. The work that you'll be seeing here now that I'm going to show you. So we decided to reach to those parents, to families, to those moms. We told them, we will pay your son. So we told them that you don't have to let your son to go and work for those people. We will provide you monthly stipends, and we provide your children with scholarship. So this is how it started. So we decided to pay the moms, and the children are enrolled in schools. So these were the children that they were on the streets. So then this war also led to internal displacements. So these families had to go to the remote parts of Afghanistan where there was no transportation, no hospital, no police station, or nothing for someone to survive. They even did not have a bathroom. So that was the most tragic thing that I learned. So I have a professor that he was my mentor. So I was talking to him that I'm sending these people food and clothes, and so how can I help these people that I want to be beneficial? So he told me like, Alaha, let's do a survey. So I went to we went to this place camps, and we started doing survey. And the food that we were providing for these displaced people, internal displaced families and persons, individuals, people with disabilities. So I found out very tragic things that were going on there in the camps. All those types of human rights violations, human trafficking, domestic violence, and children were being abused, women were being abused, men were being abused, and so there were so many adults and young men and women that they had sicknesses. They couldn't afford to go to a doctor because there was no doctor there. They were in a desert. So, and then so that was a very, they were in a place that it was very remote. So no transportation, as I said earlier, no doctors, no food. So they were in a horrible condition. So then after we did the survey, so then I decided to help these people based on their needs. So we found out this women, they lived in the remote parts of Afghanistan, as I said, provinces. As a woman, we all know that women had some monthly needs that they need to be met every month, but they didn't have access to that. So that was tragic. That was like, even now when I think about it, it makes me sad. And then children were roaming around, and there was no school for them. So no school for children, and they were just walking. There's no mentor, no role model for them. So it was not only dangerous for Afghanistan, that's dangerous for the humanity as well. There will be a place that children are growing up knowing nothing. When someone comes and tells them something negative about us, about the United States, so then they breathe and they will do whatever they are told. So because of all these tragedies that I found out based on the surveys, the findings, I decided to help these children accordingly. These displaced persons, families, men, women, people with disability. So the wars of Afghanistan made so many people lose their limbs to the landmines, to the rockets, bombs, and these children are the ones that they were in the camps. So they were walking around. So they had nothing to do anything. So that was where we were there to support them. So what I did, I established a school that called Kindness School, or a School of Kindness. So these children started to have a teacher to go there, to see them as a role model and learn. And these children didn't know what snack was. So like, because they were like in the displaced camps. So we provided them with snacks after homework, and that was an encouragement and also a reward for each one of them to come to the class. And then they would laugh that they laughed that. So we gave them pen, paper, books, notebooks, and they love doing that. They love to be educated. They love to learn. They love to be different. They do not want to live in these displaced camps. And also then I learned about the needs of women, so that these women, what their needs were. So besides food that I was providing them, we were providing them at International Kindness Sharing Project. We decided to provide them with personal hygiene products, so that they can take care of their needs on daily basis. So this the school of kindness that I said. So we had two different classes because there were so many children, so they could not fit in one place. So we had class for boys, we had class for girls, and I was doing what I was learning in here in the United States. I was working as an advocate, community development advocate. So I was working in a community center helping children after school, so that they were learning, we were helping them with their own works, and then we were giving them snacks. So that's what I did there. So I wanted them to experience what the children are experiencing in the United States. So they loved it and they wanted to come to the class. So as you see, this teacher works hard and these students are so keen on learning, so they want to be educated. Yeah. So this is our school of kindness, the teacher and the students. So after I said that, we did a survey. So we found out that so many people are sick, so they need medical attention. And there were so many people that they were suffering from mental health. So and it's obvious and it's normal to suffer because they were dealing with decades of war, decades of wars and displacements, famine. They lost their loved ones. So there's so much going on that it was legitimate for them to experience mental health problems. So what I did, I arranged, I am in the United States, but I was able to arrange a group of doctors in those provinces of Afghanistan to go and see these 2,000 displaced people that they were living there. And we were able to provide them with medicine. And these doctors were very generous, so they donated their time, and then they helped us to be volunteers for kindness sharing. But we provided the medication, so we bought the medicine. So then they were able to give it to the people there. But then after these doctors went there, they found out there's so many people that they needed to be hospitalized. So they took these children and then those individuals who were sick from this camp directly to the hospital. These are the groups of doctors. So some of them did not put on like their, so because of the security issue, safety that they were feeling. So because an International Kindness Sharing Project is an American organization, so we operate in the United States. And some of them decided to look like other people. So if someone comes after them, they will know that they are there to support people. And then, so we had a doctor there, so many doctors that they were talking to people that they were suffering from different types of mental health issues. So. And these are the women that we help them receive hygiene products. Besides helping families in need in displaced camps, so we had people that they supporting the United States when the U.S. troops were in Afghanistan. So this gentleman lost his limbs during the war, and now he is needy, so he needed help. And then we decided, the president of the country director of Kindness Sharing Project in Afghanistan visited him, and we helped him because he fought for our country and he lost his limbs to the war that was legitimate for us. And then now he is needy, so, and he's dangerous, so we decided to help him as well. And you see the children. So in Afghanistan, as I said earlier, that this is the results of wars and famine, poverty, that these children are having this condition. So what we did, at the end, I brought the good news at the end so that when you leave here, you don't feel bad. So you will see that what we changed. So today I'm here just to let you all know that as humans, we're so powerful. We can do a lot, even though we are here in the United States, and it wouldn't cost us anything, just our time. We can do a lot of things. We can change the lives of so many people to better if we just feel the kindness that we have in our heart. We do not hold it and share it with everyone else. So I know you all are very kind-hearted. I believe that. That's why we are here today. So that's what I want to show, that what we did. So we enrolled those children to private schools. Now these children that you saw them were begging, were on the streets, and they were experiencing different types of violence. Some of them even didn't know how to sit in a chair in school. So some of the schools were complaining to us that these children that you brought them to our school, so they do not know how to interact with other kids. So they were upset. But then I told them, please be patient. Please bear us. So they will adjust. But these kids, now I learned one lesson from working with this kindness sharing project. When someone is in desperate condition and you provide him or her with an opportunity, that person uses that. So these children use every minute of that opportunity. So they're so happy to go to school, and they are doing excellent now. Now they're the top students of their classes. So they are the top students. They got awards. Yeah. So this is how we change them. Yeah. So these were the children that you see that they didn't have enough food to eat. They didn't have any role models. They didn't have any teacher, any mentor. But now they are surrounded by good people, and they are receiving awards and recognition. So, which is great. So we had so many different events for them as a community advocate. So when I went to graduate school, it's so interesting. Let me tell you first. So I wanted to do my master's degree in social justice and human rights. So I had to wait 2 years for Dr. Paul Gursky to work with me. We worked together to create this program at George Mason University, because other universities did not have it. So George Mason was the only university that allowed me to have my own nonprofit organization. Because of what I learned at George Mason University for my master's degree, I tried to implement it in Afghanistan. So these children, I learned that in order for children to do well, they need field trips. They need to have some entertainments as well. So this is what I did. So I arranged field trips for them so that they could go and have some great time. And I also provide them with winter clothes. You can see in the picture. So many events that they could go and experience what the children are experiencing in the United States. So it's not to that level, but I'm trying my best. So these children that did not have enough food to eat, now they are at the table with the people that they can be proud to be at the table with them, and they're receiving love and support. Yeah, the good thing, the most important thing, because in the United States, we send a form to the families to write and allow us to take their children to field trip. But in Afghanistan, we do not have that. So what I did, I had to invite the moms, because most of them are orphans. They do not have their fathers. Or they have lost one of them, either mom or dad. So then these events, their families were included as well, moms or dads, so that they could see, and then they loved it, to see their children different, different from what they had seen them 4 years ago. So this is the result of our 4 years work, yeah. So these are the field trips that we arranged to take them. now, even though it's the time of the Taliban, women are not allowed to go to school or work, but we still operate there, thank God. And we have the girls and boys and women, so that we support them. We provide them with jobs, and that's great. I feel great. Just not, it's not for being selfish. It's just I feel great that we as humans can do a lot. We all are like volunteers. None of us are paid. Like we do so much work, and now that I see the result, it makes me feel great. I feel like a sort of peace that I cannot even describe that. So that we as humans can do a lot. And then that's all because of the education that I received from George Mason University and also University of May Washington. These professors that I had, they were golden-hearted people. So they made me what I wanted to be. So they supported me. I owe them a lot. Yes. So thank you, and also my parents, yeah, my families. International kindness sharing. So what we do, we spread kindness, we foster friendship, we embrace love, we wish peace. That's our internal wish for all of us, and we treat everyone with kindness. For us, kindness comes first, and then there is dignity and respect, because kindness can have everything. So when there is kindness, then there's everything. I was kindness sharing founded, as I said earlier, my family, my parents, my siblings, my sisters, that they are here now. So they helped me a lot, and thank you so much for the work that you are doing. So the founders are my parents. So I did not have a picture of my whole family together because of, again, the war, displacements, immigration, all these things affected my family as well. So we are all not together. So I didn't have a family picture that all members of my family be together so that I could have it here. So that's only me and my other sister. So how can people of goodwill be involved and help? So if anyone wants to donate to Zelle, and so now we are paperless. So I support and help those that I always get the shortcuts, like the easiest way. I do not want to waste papers and bring flyers. And I was like, why should we spend money on things that someone will read it and will trash it? So everything is available online. And then our website, like we have Zelle, so the full information, International Kindness Sharing Project. The bank is Bank of America. The phone number is 202-754-5952. And the email address is kindnesssharingproject@gmail.com. So this way, people that they want to or they can, because we know that everyone has so much responsibilities, family issues, mortgage bills, so much that people have to take care of. So we understand if someone can support, we welcome that. If they cannot support, we respect that as well, because we know that everyone has different commitments and different issues to take care of. So again, my word is like, let kindness spread to the world. So these are our students after 4 years. So, and we are still recruiting more. After I saw this result of my work, so I decided to help, to have an event to appreciate all these are the people that they, in a way, help me with their words, with their action, with money, or they like support us in different forms. It doesn't have to always be money wise. So we can support someone in different ways. Just even if we have knowledge, we can share with someone like, oh, Alaha, do this, it will help your project. So I decided to invite them all and give them all recognition. So it was an award ceremony that Dr. Sam was there as well. So I appreciated them as well. So that's all that I've been doing. Because it's a lot that I talked, so I do not want to say a lot about myself. And thank you so much for your time.
You are very passionate.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk not from Rotarian, from XYZ person who wants to give money to you. how they will know that this money really are going there? Is any way that we can, or at least I can explain, they will not be lost, quote unquote?
Thank you. So, for example, these children that you saw, everyone has a sponsor. So, if I have connected every child to a person, to a family, or some people want to support children because a loved one passed away and they want to keep the memory of that person alive, so they support the child. What I do, so the donations goes 100% to the children. We don't get anything. Even the fee that I send the money to Afghanistan, I pay that myself. But every time when the child receives the money, she says that thank you to Kindness Sharing Project, and then she thanks the donor. He or she says the donor's name, and she thanks and confirms that she received he received the support. Then you will know that the money got there. But then those who donated for women for the hygiene products, so then we distributed them, and then they saw the documentaries. If you go on our YouTube, so it's International Kindness Sharing. You can watch our documentaries, videos, the students that they confirm that they received their monthly stipend, and their moms. And we also support people with disability as well. Yeah, so it's clear. So in the winter time when we help, so then we say that at the end, we say that this money was donated by this person, the person who is recording that. We have someone that, a journalist, that is making the documentary so that everyone can see that what we did.
I really want to tell you how impressive your work is, listening to it. And I congratulate you for all that you are doing.
Thank you.
I have a question for you regarding sustainability and the current political situation. I don't want to ask a political question as such, but having experienced some other countries with difficult situations, I wonder, how do you manage to not only survive, for your organization to survive, but for it to thrive in this unique environment?
Thank you so much. As I said, the 20 years of a democracy and freedom in Afghanistan made so many young people bold and courageous. They want to see the change. They want to work. They want to change the lives of the children and the families in need. So when I ask them to work for us, and then they are working for us, they're volunteers, they do it. So they go to these homes, they do the surveys, and like completing the survey of 2,000 people is not an easy task. So I needed so many people doing that for me. But we did it. So we were successful because the young people do not want to live the lives that their parents changed. That's why we have so many women demonstrators marching in Afghanistan, because they want to change the situation for them. Yeah. So people are willing to help us. Thank you so much for your question, and thank you for the words of kindness.
Thank you so much for joining us. I really enjoyed your talk, and our year is dedicated to children this year, and it's great to see that someone is showing kindness internationally. So you will have your very own tree in Washington, D.C., and you'll be able to find the coordinates. When you get the certificate, you'll get a letter, and it'll give you a number, and you'll be able to find the coordinates so you can find your tree. So we really appreciate you. And I know that these children suffer so much trauma, just like here in the United States when they are homeless and such. So thank you. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you so much. This mean a lot to me. Thank you.